Shock the system. Bulletcast for life.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Bulletcast. We are the number one sports recreational podcast in the world. I am the number one sports recreational podcaster in the world. I'm a 23-year-old piece of gold. I'm the Podfather. And just like Montel Jordan in 1994, this is how we do it. I'm joined by the reigning, defending, five-time Bulletcast champion, host of the award-winning Under the Radar, co-creator of Curveballs and Chair Shots, the Canadian Destroyer, Brandon. How's it going, man?
It's going good. I was told they're going to be in the TV studio today, so that's why I gussied up. I have a new shirt on.
Yes.
And I mean, I don't know if it's like conspiracy or anything, but I've been the champion for 2 weeks now. In the last 2 weeks, we haven't been doing video.
Whoa. What do you mean, man? We haven't been doing. Oh, do you want me to take a video? Put it on the feed right now. I can.
No, I mean it's okay. I'm just saying.
We can do this.
Once I got the title, we ain't doing those studio shots anymore with me with the championship.
Whoa. It's nothing like that. Look, the video's recording. Live recording for the Bulletcast. There's Brandon.
The title's over there.
There's the championship. I'm taking it back May 19th. Stay tuned. All right, there we go. No, yeah, man. I still told them for Wednesday we were locked in. You had something to do. I respect that. So I was scheduled for today. Going back to our roots, and they didn't show up. The heads of the studio did not show up.
It's community college for you folks.
Yes, exactly. I'm going to be here for the rest of my life. Jesus Christ. All right, let's talk about outside of the ring. I might start doing the times in the description again, because I feel like that was a good thing to do. Help the people. All right, so apparently Seth Rollins and Becky Two Belts are an item.
That's the name around town.
Yeah. Becky, I can't say two belts. I'll say two titles.
Becky, she's the champ.
She's the champ. You're right. Great interview with her on the State of Combat podcast. Go check it out. Yeah, so that's the apparent word around town. If that's the case, that's very nice.
Good for them.
Good for them. All right, apparently Nia Jax is out with an injury. I think it was like an ACL.
Double ACL.
Double ACL, so she's going to be out for quite some time. Rest up, Nia. You a real one. You a homie. All right, so this has been the big news. Sasha Banks reportedly wants to leave WWE, or she gave them notice, or she's been in a sort of a mood backstage. Apparently, this happened when she found out that she and Bayley were going to drop the women's titles at WrestleMania, and she just no-showed Raw, or they gave her notice like, hey, take some time and go figure it out. So what are your thoughts on Sasha?
Well, I mean, we talked a little bit about it last week. I don't know exactly how to feel because yes, people are saying, oh, she's a crybaby, she's just doing all this stuff, but I think it's a good sign that the wrestler actually cares about their character and they want to be. I mean, they were told all these different things. They went to NXT. They said, oh, they're going to defend their championships all over the place. And the reasoning why we picked Sasha and Bayley to win the championships is because we thought they're going to have a nice long reign, establish the tag team belts, and then they get them taken off and given to the Iconics. And I love the Iconics. I think they're funny, and I mean, they're entertaining. But when it comes to in-ring, Sasha and Bayley are much better. And I mean, it's a complicated situation if Sasha does end up leaving. I'm okay with that. If she goes to AEW, I think that can be a huge get for them just because I think that the women's division AEW is lacking. And if they get Sasha, that can really be a good first step to really getting a big women's division.
I mean, you see, look, people just, as soon as there's, like, we're talking about other people who have talked about leaving the company and requested releases. AEW is the first thing that pops up. I mean, I understand that, but not everybody's going to go to AEW, like...
I mean, I don't think Wolf is going to AEW, but I think Luke Harper would be a good fit with AEW.
Spoiler alert. No, I mean, but seriously, like, what... I don't want to rag on Sasha. I love her. I've been a fan of hers for quite some time. When they were chanting Sasha's ratchet, no, she's not. Like, she can't use the boss gimmick in AEW or anywhere else she goes. Like, what is she really going to do?
I mean, she can be the boss without being called the boss.
Well, then what are they going to call her?
I don't know. I'm not in charge. I'm not making the big money.
I mean, so, like, I don't know, man. Just take some time to reflect on your career and really think about, like, what are you going to do,
I mean, this is a fun time in wrestling. Since AEW is in town, I don't know if it's a direct correlation, but more and more wrestlers are being dissatisfied with their pushes, and they maybe feel more empowered to speak out and try to. I mean, the Revival's one. I mean, Dean Ambrose and other people, they're speaking out, and they're actually like kind of being wrestlers back in the day with the territories, and they had power. They could, they don't like what's going on, they can just leave and go somewhere else. And I mean, I like it. It gives more power, and this should hopefully make the wrestling business better. But as long as Vince McMahon's still in power, that's something's gonna happen.
We don't know that. I mean, could you imagine if we had the technology back during the Monday Night Wars? It's like the Revival spoke out. Oh, we're going to see them on TNT this coming Monday. Stuff like that would happen. Speaking of other people leaving WWE, Luke Harper has requested his release from WWE. He took a screenshot of the Notes app on his iPhone, and he put it on his Twitter. Normally, he just posts insert whatever day it is. You know what that means. So, Luke Harper, great talent. Brody Lee, really popular on the indies. Like, I don't want to see that guy in AEW. Put him in New Japan, Let him go up against Tanahashi and Okada. And could you imagine a feud between Harper and Jay White? That'd be fantastic.
I mean, Luke Harper, I believe he's like almost 40 or something.
He is 40.
He's pretty old.
He's up there.
And I mean,
that prime's running out.
He ain't no spring chicken. He hasn't been used a whole lot. I mean, he posted something a few weeks ago before WrestleMania, kind of talking about his dissatisfaction with how he's been used, how he's been healthy for like, I don't know, a month or two, and they haven't even called him or talked about what he's doing. So, I mean, I'm with you. If Luke Harper wants to go wherever he wants on the indie scene, it should be fun. I mean, I was not a fan before he signed with WWE, so I didn't exactly know what he was or what he could do. So hopefully, I've heard some things. And if he goes to greener pastures, hopefully we can see his potential be fulfilled.
Yeah, go watch that match he did on Worlds Collide with Donovan Dijak. I'm not gonna.
Dominic Dijakovic.
Well, whatever. I'm not saying that. Let these guys.
It took me like 2 months, but I got it down finally.
I know. I listened under the radar. Now they tore the house down, man. It was fun, So Harper's always giving me that Bruiser Brody type feel. Go watch Dark Side of the Ring. We're gonna talk about that a little later. But yeah, man. So hopefully he finds what he wants to do and becomes happy. All right, Alexander Wolf, he posted on his social media, he requests his release from WWE, RIP Sanity, thanks Young, Nikki Cross, and Killian Dane. Jesus Christ, who is texting me? So, yeah.
Great audio quality here, folks.
Oh, yes, exactly. So, yeah, thoughts on Alexander Wolf?
He could, I mean, if he doesn't, he might not be released from WWE if he goes to WWE UK or UK NXT, whatever the hell they're calling it.
Is he from the UK?
I don't know where he's from, but he might be he's from Europe. I know that much.
Okay.
But I know he made a name for himself at WXW and like in the Germany region. He made a return to WXW a few weeks ago, and I saw his entrance on YouTube. It's actually very nice. I mean, we see Alexander Wolf, and he's just kind of a mid to lower card guy on SmackDown who doesn't even get used on SmackDown. And then he goes to this company, gets a massive pop, and he gets a huge reaction. When he was on NXT with Sanity, they were great. It's just I don't know.
Tag team champions, tag team of the year.
I don't understand what WWE was doing. I mean, we can talk about EC3. There's a whole bunch of other people on here that they bring them up, and then they just don't even use them.
Yeah,
and there's like a lack of depth, and yet you have people, but you're not using them. I don't understand what they're doing.
Sanity, like I always thought they were cool, they were interesting. Killian Dane, Big Damo, former WCPW heavyweight champion. That dude is awesome. I don't understand why Nikki Cross wasn't with Sanity. She added to that group that's stable. I don't get it, man.
It's two guys that are underutilized, and once again, hopefully they fulfill their potential.
Throw Big Damo on WWE UK, or if not, throw him back on NXT. Let him have a tear down there with the North American title.
Yeah, I don't understand why you bring people up and you don't even use them. So.
Yeah, well, these are trying times. All right, so apparently Road Dogg is no longer the co-head of the SmackDown writing team. Apparently he's going to be getting a new role. There are rumors that he was, but it's probably facts that he was frustrated with VKM changing stuff at the last minute.
I mean, I'd be frustrated too if you work your ass off all week to create a script, and then Tuesday morning comes around and he just changes everything.
Have you heard about that new job that WWE's offering? It's a continuity position. Like, they want you to look over storylines and make sure they make sense.
Yeah, but then if Vince doesn't remember, then he doesn't expect anybody else to remember, so then he's just going to cut it regardless. If it makes sense or not.
I'd go for it if Vince isn't changing stuff. You know, Brent, I think that'd be the perfect job for you.
Maybe just give it to Dana Warrior. She's not doing anything. Just
wow.
let Dana Warrior go. I mean, she's already in the creative meetings. Why don't?
I mean, you know, that'd be the perfect job for you. You always talk about continuity.
Yeah.
You know, just apply.
Because continuity is king. Shout out Eric Bischoff.
Yes, it is King. Jerry the King. Try to meet him at StarCast. All right, yeah. So, Road Dogg. I don't know what his new position is going to be, but we shall see.
Maybe he leaves for AEW and him and Billy Gunn get together.
Here we go. All this AEW talk. Oh, he's going to AEW. I'm going to AEW. After my Bulletcast contract runs out, I'm going to AEW.
I'm going to AEW.
Okay,
May 25th.
I get okay.
Memorial Day.
I guess we'll both be there. All right.
Maybe.
All right. So, Sexy Star apparently is the leader of the Women's Revolution. She took to social media and she said after she won the Lucha Underground title, that really set in motion for WWE to start their Women's Revolution deal.
I don't understand why we're talking about this. I say we just move on.
I thought it was interesting. She also made her MMA debut. I think she won. Probably. I don't know. TNA was way ahead of the Women's Revolution before Sexy Star WWE was. Just throw that out there. All right. Apparently Okada gets married. Tied the knot with forgot his wife's name, but congratulations.
Good job, Okada.
Shout out. IWGP champ and a wedding, all within the span of like a couple weeks.
Once again, he should have won the 2017 Bulletcast Man of the Year award.
Oh God,
I'm
still holding.
I'm
gripes.
still holding on that because that stupid other guy kept saying AJ
Whoa!
Styles should have won.
AJ was the dude
when Okada held the title the entire year and had two of the best matches of the year.
Dude, there are a lot of guys who have been champ for a year and they still weren't wrestler of the year.
Okada is by far the greatest championship reign I have ever seen in my life.
What? What?
Yes.
Really?
Jinder Mahal's a close second.
Kaz Okada?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
I don't know. That Seth Rollins 2015 run was it was nice. I enjoyed it. You know.
How many 6-star matches did it have?
Okay, look, see, this is the thing. People listen to Big Dave and just get a big head and all this other stuff.
I don't listen to Big Dave.
No such thing as a 6-star match.
Wade Keller guy over here.
Okay, no, I've heard Wade Keller stuff. I think he's a fantastic human being. I'm a Sam Roberts guy. Go check him out. Commentary and main event this week. Moving on. So apparently Enzo and Kaz XL. Kaz XL, whatever you say his name. They are no longer affiliated with Ring of Honor. They just tried that angle out to see if it would create some buzz. That's why they kept it off camera. And apparently there's no further plans to use those guys.
I just think this...
AEW bound.
No. I don't understand why... I mean, I think this kind of shows just how inept and out of touch ROH is with what their audience wants. They brought him in to create a buzz, and then they wanted to bring him in, you know, further on down the line to do some sort of angle or
it was
some
a
sort
buzz.
of storyline.
It was
and
a
yeah,
negative buzz.
They got buzz. I mean, was it a bigger deal than the Bret Hart thing? Maybe, but not. I mean, it was just like, why would you bring them in to ROH? The crowd completely turned on it. Everyone just hated it. I don't understand why ROH would do this and think that it would have a positive impact on the company.
A free agency to AEW.
No.
What? Why can't they go to AEW?
No.
Why? Okay.
Dean Ambrose or them?
Man,
I think
Dean's going to take 6 months off. We'll see him back. That's just how it goes.
I mean, it's just a quick little 5-minute drive across from his house to MGM. It doesn't take that long.
You got the address?
No.
Oh, I was about to say.
I mean, it's a nice little house. I saw it on Total Divas.
Oh, yeah, of course. Total Divas. Shout out. I forgot about that show. All right, Charlotte says women shouldn't main event WrestleMania next year. She says the most important storyline should be the main event of the show. She said there's a possibility the woman won't be in that position next year. Thoughts on that?
I mean, I agree with her. Obviously, if you set in stone that there's going to be a main event a year out, yes, it worked back in the day when there was not a lot of TV, but nowadays you can have like maybe a soft idea of what you want to do. But I think if you kind of try to put the square peg in the round hole, so to speak, where you just say like, okay, Becky's going to hold the title forever, and then we're going to bring up I don't know, Shayna Baszler, and they're going to tear the house down. I mean, that's a good idea in storyline, but what happens if, someone like Kofi Kingston gets hot again and there's just, a new Kofi King, or like Johnny Gargano comes up and he just lights the world on fire? I say,
what if Buddy Murphy tears it up?
Exactly.
Spoiler alert.
I mean, when there's so many championships and there's all these different things, you can say that other things can main event the WWE WrestleMania.
That's why we need less titles. Less means more, people.
I mean, Kairi Sane enter pirate ship on the pirate ship in Tampa Bay.
Oh, it writes itself, brother.
Match on a pirate ship match. I don't know.
Yeah, Hogan's gonna walk her down the plank. I don't know. Oh God, we're taking a turn. All right, Adam Rose, he suffered a mild heart attack. He is okay. Hopefully he feels better. And so apparently AEW is going to pay TNT to be on their network instead of the other way around.
It's kind of an interesting little antidote if it is true, because I mean there's so much money being thrown around to sports and wrestling and so much live content that you would think, okay, it would make sense for TNT or TBS to pay AEW some sort of amount of money to get on their television show. But if AEW, it's kind of like public access, it seems like, where they're paying to be on the show. Maybe they give them like a 6-month trial run, and if something, they show ratings, they draw 1 million to 2 million people, maybe they get a contract where TNT pays them.
I mean, yeah, look, they're going to draw. They got all the Kenny Omega marks that will watch AEW and whatnot, and people who just want a change of scenery. So, I mean, I'm here to announce that whenever AEW officially broadcasts on TV, we will be covering Raw, AEW, and SmackDown on this show.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
What a hot take that is.
Yes, what a hot take. We're going in depth. We're not just WWE anymore and occasional other promotions. We're trying to advance here. All right, let's talk about some inside of the ring real quick. Deep Impact is going to be happening July 6th. I wrote this like 6 days ago. I forgot why I put it on there. I think it's a paper. I think, God, I forgot why I put that on there. I really did. Maybe that's Gail Kim versus Tessa Blanchard. I think that's why. Not sure. All right, anyway, the Shield's final chapter is this Sunday. This is the last ride of Ambrose, Rollins, and Reigns. It's going to be a nice live special. Apparently, Finn Balor is supposed to be defending the Intercontinental Championship against Andrade Cien Almas. Others...
Okay.
To be announced, card subject to change. You're going to watch?
Probably not.
Wow. It's the last stand.
Well, they said that like a month ago.
I mean...
But I was also the one that said they should have just done it the night after WrestleMania, but...
I mean, Terry Funk has retired like 40 times between like 1997 and today, and he's still going, so it's okay. This is the wrestling business. We just accept it and enjoy it. No?
Good for them.
Wow. All right, Brandon. I feel
I'm cold-hearted today, apparently.
Yeah, you really are. God, Jesus. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk some This Day in Wrestling. There was a Raw on this day in 1993. There was a Raw on this day in 1999. SmackDown on this day in 2001. That involved the two-man power trip going up against the Brothers of Destruction. The Rock's Scorpion King movie released in 2002. Eugene debuted in 2004.
Shout out Eugene.
TNA Lethal Lockdown happened in 2009. I think Mick Foley defeated Sting or something like that. RVD defeats AJ Styles on this day in 2010 to win the TNA World Title. And then there was a SmackDown on this day in 2013.
With RVD back in TNA, maybe he's going to win the championship once again.
Yes. All right, fan mail, people. I have to pull out the phone. Our boy Copenhagen Smith wrote us back.
Where's my boy Hootie Who at?
He's in here.
That's all I care about.
Wow. Copenhagen Smith, he put you over last week, dude.
I mean, shout out Copenhagen,
Apparently he's from Willacoochee, Georgia. I was reading his bio, so I think that's close to the Bayou. If that's the case, ZZ from Tough Enough, you better watch out. May have a new king of the Bayou. All right, Hootie Who 420.
Hootie Who.
What the F is a Viking Experience?
Well, a Viking Experience apparently is a tag team in WWE, but when you ask me what a Viking Experience is, to me, it sounds like something you go down to your local museum, and you bring the kids, and they can put on a little helmet gimmick, and they get to touch some furs and some horns, and they get to, shoot a cannon or something, and that's what a Viking Experience is.
We're gonna talk about the Viking Experience. Jack of all trades. Thoughts on the Macho Man and Miss Elizabeth Dark Side of the Ring episode? I liked it. I liked it. Got a little insight to aspects of their life you didn't know about. What are your thoughts on the Dark Side of the Ring series?
Well, I watched the Montreal Screwjob one yesterday. I saw the whatchamacallit, Miss Elizabeth and Randy Savage one last week. Haven't seen the Brody one yet.
Oh, just go on the Viceland.
It's on
website.
it's on the DVR. Just
I
it's
saw
a lot. It's a lot to handle.
I saw the Bruiser Brody one. I was a little upset.
But it's just talking about the Miss Elizabeth and Macho Man one. I mean, it was fine. Just knowing a bunch about them, it's kind of hard to judge, especially with these documentaries. They're a mainstream hour-long documentary, so there's not going to be a whole lot of new information. There was kind of like fast-forwarded a little bit. Like they talked a lot about the the mega powers in the 80s, but they just kind of skimmed over the 90s and WCW and all that stuff and just kind of went straight to their deaths.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there was some stuff that was good. They didn't exactly maybe talk about, possible abuse or the bad side of their relationship. They touched on it, but they walked up to the line, but they didn't exactly explicitly say it.
Yeah, I mean, the guys who directed and produced this, they were on the Sam Roberts podcast this week, and they said they did this series, to kind of, for the person who's not a wrestling fan, so they can kind of be intrigued. So they left the real hardcore, smarky stuff out for people like us. So,
but I mean, I don't think talking about abuse is a smarky thing. It's just a human thing.
I mean, they were talking about the whole series in general. They weren't going into specific depths on each episode.
I mean, I understand there's only 45 minutes, and you're talking about stories. I mean, the Montreal Screwjob one's a little easier because it's just a matter of a few months.
Scott Hall thinks it's a work.
That's what he said. And then Jim Cornette just laughed in his face. My mother, we watched it.
My
mother and I watched it yesterday, and she's never seen Jim Cornette in her life, and she already hates him.
Jim Cornette is hilarious.
And that's why I was just laughing, because
I love Jim. She should hate Vince Russo, bro.
Vince Russo was not as heavily shown on the Montreal Screwjob.
He wasn't even really supposed to be a part of that when he was being interviewed for another thing, but he was like, I was there, bro. Put me in this episode, bro.
I just liked at the very end when Jim Cornette was like, I don't care how old I am. If I'm in a walker or someone has to drag me out, my wife has to drag me out, I'm going to piss on Vince Russo's grave and hang it up in my house.
Jesus.
Okay.
Vince Russo saying wrestling doesn't mean anything, but he put the world title on himself. What a guy, right? What a freaking guy. All right, the Dark Side of the Ring series is very good. I recommend you people go see it. The Fabulous Moolah episodes are coming, and then the
Bruiser Brody is next week in terms of actually being on TV. But it is on YouTube and stuff, so you can check that out if you want. They're getting good numbers. I see 150, nearing 200,000. So
yeah.
Good for them.
Good for them. All right, Hootie Hoo 420.
Another Hootie Hoo.
Yes. Why does the Universal Championship have Velcro on it?
I
don't know. Macho Man had Velcro on the Winged Eagle. The women's tag titles have Velcro on them. Just easier to put the title on. I am a fan of the buttons, though, and the straps. Yep, all that good stuff.
And I would think it's lasts longer.
Yeah. Blue Rhino, no in-depth talk about the John Oliver piece.
Well, I tried, but someone shut it down.
Okay, look, so I've been told to write a piece about John Oliver, so here's what I'll say. There was a lot of stuff was out of context there. It really was. A lot of it. I mean, he took the piece of the Wrestling for Shadows documentary talking about how Vince uses and abuses us, and then Oliver went on to say that, and that's what happened to Brett's brother Owen. I mean, the Wrestling for Shadows documentary is 97. Owen doesn't die until 99. Come on now. And then all this other stuff. And then plus, RVD was on Chris Van Vliet's YouTube channel being interviewed about independent contractors. RVD says he likes to be an independent contractor. And then he was like, you really think Triple H and Shane McMahon don't have health insurance?
No, that's because they're employees.
Look, it's in your contract. You don't just sign it. You read it, obviously. And you'd be like, hey, if I want health insurance, you can negotiate that with the company. You know what I'm saying? Or if you want a tour bus instead of flying and driving, hey, can we work this into my contract where I get this and that? You don't just sign it.
Do you think WWE is paying for John Cena and Big Show's tour buses?
Yeah, they have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just work it into the contract, bro. What are your thoughts on John Oliver? Or whatever.
I tried to talk about it.
This piss ant show.
I tried to talk about it a few weeks ago, But then it got shut down by
It was
somebody.
last week.
It was 2 weeks ago. It was before WrestleMania.
Oh.
Because remember, he had the call to action to bring signs, and nobody brought signs.
Yeah, what a piece of... He's on the TOS, Terminated on Site list. Keep going.
But at its core, I mean, I agree with him. I think we've talked about it, that WWE employs these wrestlers even though they use the loophole of independent contractors, so they get like tax breaks and they don't have to pay for insurance and all this other BS. And I mean, I think if I would really like to see a wrestlers union of sorts, just so that wrestlers have more power. And as we said earlier, now that AEW is a thing, the wrestlers seemingly do have more power. And if AEW, at first they kind of said that they were going to do health insurance and all that other stuff. Maybe now that they've seen all the numbers, they might be towing that line back a little bit. But AEW is more of an old school territory, to where it's like a legit, you come in, you do a couple shots with us, we get first dibs at your dates. But after the fact, if you want to work, your local indie, or you want to go and do something else, you can. But with WWE, WWE legit tells you what to do, where to work, appearances you have to do. Maybe you negotiate dates in terms of how many dates and how much money you make, but WWE tells you what to do for the most part, and that's what an employer does.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You got a boss, you got to listen to him. It's just life, guys.
But if you do a plumber will say, okay, I'm open these dates. You pick one, and then the plumber comes, does what he's got to do, or she. There could be female plumbers out there, and they do what they got to do, and then they leave, and then they do another job from somebody else, from another employer.
I mean, I could see how you got there, but like with plumbing or plumbers, like they work for a specific company, and they get sent out there. You know what I mean? They get sent out to do that one job, and then they go to a different house. Are you talking about like territory-wise? You're trying to make that connection?
I'm saying, okay, my stepmother, she does some sort of like trucking thing where she guides the trucks. She works by herself. She's an independent contractor, so she gets paid by these trucking companies and all these other people, and they tell her what to do and where to go and all this other stuff, but it's independent, so she can pick whatever the hell she wants to do and blah, 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 blah. And that's what wrestlers used to be able to do. They were legit free agents the entire time. They can go from town to town, and they can negotiate dates and how much they're making and all the other stuff. That's why Bruiser Brody was like a legend, because he just did what the hell he wanted to do, and he didn't really care.
He really did. And if he didn't get paid his right amount, he would take dirty mop bucket water and like splash it on fans until the promoter would give him his money, or he'd just lay in the ring until the promoter paid him personally in the middle of the ring. Shout out Bruiser Brody.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Yes. All right. Next up, Copenhagen Smith. Hey guys, how would you change the length of WrestleMania? How many matches total would you make on the card, including pre-show?
Not everybody has to be on WrestleMania. We could make it 2 days. We could make it 2 days.
Technically, it was. The women's main event went on
in New York
at midnight.
But if we're just going to go 1 day...
9 matches total, 6 make the main card. Boom, there you go.
I mean, there's matches out there that you could have cut. You could have cut out the Finn Balor Bobby Lashley thing. You could have cut.
Dude, that's what.
The tag team matches. Honestly, you could have cut those. You throw the tag team matches, put those guys in. You can put everybody on the show, but just stuff them all in the battle royal. You can cut the tag team matches. You can. There's so many title matches that you have to start cutting titles out.
Okay, look. The 2 battle royals, they make the pre-show, and then cruiserweight title. Okay, let's say that happens. That's 3, and then you have 6 for the main show. Universal, WWE, a Hunter match, a Shane match, and then an IC. I mean, there you go.
Exactly. I mean, you have like all the main titles, maybe excluding the. I mean, I think you have to put the women's titles in there, the women's tag titles, just because it was like a first time.
Okay, so 7 matches make the main show. So you put them
in there. You can take the men's tag team titles out, and then you have your Triple H match. And I mean, the Triple H match, as I said, should have been cut 10 minutes, and that would have been a whole lot better. You could have
people loved it in studio or in arena.
I mean, I love Triple H and Sting in the arena, and that doesn't mean it was a good match.
Wow. I mean, you don't remember the match. You remember the moment of the NWO and D-Generation.
Yeah, the match itself sucked, but there was just a bunch of run-ins. It was exciting, but...
How dare you?
I don't think I might have gone back and watched it once, and I was like, geez, this match is kind of plotted.
Watch WWE Untold on the network. They go in depth about that in the booking. All right, last up from Copenhagen Smith again. Philip talks about how demons aren't baby faces. Are we just going to ignore the fact that Finn Balor's demon runs around in blackface and nobody bats an eye? Wow.
It's not blackface. That's a completely different thing.
Wow. I don't know who this guy is, but he's really going for it.
Hot takes out here.
Hot takes, you know. I don't think he likes Finn Balor the way you don't like Canadians.
Well, we're gonna get into that.
Oh yeah.
The whole reasoning why I hate Canadians. It came up again.
I mean, so do you hate Kenny Omega?
Maybe little Canadian crowds.
Wow. Oh, now you want to change? No, you have to hate everybody. You have to hate all the
fans.
Canadians.
Canadian fans.
Like if you're Canadian, you lose in Canada.
Is Kenny Omega really Canadian? I mean, he's practically like half Canadian, half Japanese.
What?
I mean, he loves Japan just as much as he loves Canada.
Okay,
So I love half of Kenny. How about that?
I love Samoan culture. Does that make me Samoan? No.
I didn't say I'm Japanese.
What?
What?
What? Okay, let's get Superstar Shakeup. We're at 30 minutes. Jesus, we're gonna go more than a Broadway.
Well, you said we can go as long as we want.
We really can. You know, I'm a 60-minute man. God damn it. All right, sorry, people. Here we go. Monday Night Raw.
Oldest
Jesus.
ride, longest line.
Woo! Ric Flair roast. It's gonna be a great one at Starcast. I got one of my first meet and greet tickets also.
And
Scarlet Bordeaux, the smoke show.
Okay.
Yeah, woo.
I'll see you in line.
He's gonna ignore me at the convention, guys. I can already see it. All right, so Raw recap. Stephanie and Shane, they open up Raw, and the Miz attacks Shane. Miz is back on the red brand.
Yeah, it was a fine opening segment, I guess. The first superstar to be shaken up was the Miz going to Raw. So this
Why do we just keep throwing him back and forth?
I mean, Shane and I assume this is continuation of the Miz Shane feud because Shane really isn't, because the McMahons apparently run WWE, both Raw and SmackDown, so there's no real reason why Shane can't be on Raw and doing those things as well. So, I mean, it makes sense. I just wish for the Superstar Shakeup they actually would say the reasoning why the wrestlers are going from brand to brand.
Dude, I missed the randomized draft.
I mean, even that makes more sense.
Exactly. It was quick. It was boom. There you go. This person's being drafted to SmackDown.
Yeah, I mean, you can make it sense where it's like, you know, there's like 3 different tiers. There's like the women's tier, you know, the top tier men's, and like the lower men's. You can
what about tag teams
and the tag teams and whatever. You can switch them all up and blah blah blah.
Just the randomized draft. It was just quicker. Boom.
Even though when you like look at it, you can make out trades in your mind and what exactly went down. But I don't think the fans should not be on the onus of the fans to make things make sense.
Yeah, I mean, hey, that position's open, Brandon. Apply for it after we stop recording.
I would probably get fired after a week because I'd be like, yo, can we like explain why these superstars are being traded from Raw to SmackDown Live?
Yes.
See, I use it all the cult language.
It's not cult language. You know?
Sorry, cult speak.
You know how there are Vince-isms? Maybe I should have like Philip-isms that we say on the show. Alright.
Speaking of Vince-isms.
Yes. Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins, along with Ricochet and Aleister Black, official members of Monday Night Raw, they lose to the Revival and NXT Tag Team Champions, the Viking Experience. Was it like Eric and Ivar? Ivar. Okay, look, you didn't have to change their individual names. Hanson and Rowe, that was perfectly fine. Probably sounds close to Rowan, but nobody cares. He's not really that valuable to the company. He can be gone today and nobody would give a damn. Listen, apparently the name was going to be worse. Apparently it was going to be like the Berserkers or something.
I think the Berserkers are better.
Absolutely not.
I think the Berserkers are better.
Absolutely not. No. Look, apparently Vince doesn't like the name War. When Raw was War dominated the mid to late 90s and even early 2000s. I don't know. This did not need to happen. Like they changed them from War Machine to War Raiders because of that MMA fighter who had some run-ins with domestic violence, and apparently that was his nickname, War Machine. War Raiders, perfectly fine. Did not need to be changed. I don't get it. I don't get it at all.
Or you can just call them the Raiders. Like, it's stupid, but it's not as stupid as the Viking Experience.
Yeah.
My thing is, as you said, They come in, you change the names. Okay, War Raiders to War Machine, that's fine. It's close enough. We understand why they did that. Maybe it was because of the MMA fighter, just for trademark reasons. But they come up to WWE. Vince, they were with the company for like a year and a half, something like that, and Vince doesn't do anything. They come up after, doing all their stuff in NXT, and now they decide to bring them up and change their names. Not only change their tag team names, but change their wrestling names as well. Just when I finally figured out who was Hanson, who was Rowe, they changed their names on me. And now I gotta relearn.
And they didn't even bring the NXT Tag Team Championships with them.
Exactly.
What is this? All right, moving on. Cedric Alexander joins Monday Night Raw. God.
I mean, it's a good move. I mean, he was already
on Raw when
kind of on Raw before, so
yeah.
I think Buddy Murphy's a better get from the cruiserweight division. But Cedric Alexander, I think he can be a nicely utilized babyface on Raw.
Yes. Andrade Cien Almas defeats the Fintercontinental. I'm sorry. I apologize. I really tried to make that work.
Is that a Philippism now?
Yeah, the Fintercontinental Champion, Finn Balor. I'm sorry. That doesn't sound good. He defeats him on Raw in his Raw debut. Shout out Almas.
I wouldn't say excited, but I was like, okay, Andrade's here, Almas, or whatever his name is. Andrade. His name's Andrade.
Andrade Cien Almas.
No, his name's Andrade.
No,
Sorry, I'm trying to work for WWE. I gotta get the code language down, Philip, okay?
Sorry, dude.
Andrade went up against the extraordinary man who does extraordinary things.
Yes.
Finn Balor.
Yes, there you go.
I'm so good.
Yeah. You know what I noticed? How they keep the married couples together, but the people who are just dating, they split them up.
It's a damn shame.
I know.
Poor Charlotte and Andrade.
Yes.
But I don't understand why they made Finn job out when he left the territory, even though he's staying in the territory to go to SmackDown. So I thought, okay, we're going to get Andrade versus Finn feud on Raw, and then because obviously once Finn moved to SmackDown, you're like, okay, now Samoa Joe's going to move over to Raw. So
Samoa Joe was very ill this week, so and
that's why he's not officially there yet. But I think he's going to be, because I don't think you're gonna have both secondary titles on SmackDown.
I don't know. That'd be interesting.
And they're gonna continue the Braun Strowman Samoa Joe feud. I don't think they just did that for no reason for 1 week and nothing.
It's the WWE. They do a lot of stuff for no reason.
I know, but Braun Strowman, I feel like he's on that first page of stuff Vince looks at and says what we're doing. It goes Roman, then probably Braun, then Seth, then Becky. Maybe Becky, then Seth. Maybe Seth just because, maybe Kofi now because Roman Reigns is going to take over Kofi Kingston's spot on SmackDown. We're going to get into that a little bit later.
Oh, yes, we are. Absolutely. All right, so Elias is performing again, and he's been just dropping hints and then about whoever's going to attack him. I forgot what he said for Mysterio, but Rey Mysterio, former World Heavyweight Champion, makes his return to Monday Night Raw.
I think it's a good move.
He got laid out by Lars, right?
Yeah, Lars continues to attack all the old guys, and Mysterio, I think, like on depth chart, he's maybe like the 5th babyface behind Seth, Braun,
Kofi.
Well, I'm talking about on
Raw.
Like on Raw. Like he's kind of like in that second tier of main event babyfaces for Raw. So, I mean, this isn't the way I would use Rey. I would just use him as like an all-time legend and just kind of put him on a pedestal, but that's not what they're doing with him.
No, it's not. What else happened on Raw? The Usos defeat Gable and Rude. Them Usos are on Monday nights, man. I thought we were going to get a little bloodline run with the Usos and Roman, because blood's red and they're on Raw. Bloodline. Get it? No?
I get it.
All right, cool.
I got it.
Sami Zayn rags on the people on A Moment of Bliss. Favorite talk show, by the way.
I mean, I did enjoy Sami Zayn just going in on the crowd because I knew they kept cheering him on. I was like, you idiots! You know he's going to say something bad about your city, and that's what happened. Those damn Canadians just don't understand.
Wow, Jesus, man, God.
Maybe it's not Canadians. Maybe it's Montreal. Because I feel like the last time, Bailey was in Montreal, she got boots. Maybe it's a Montreal thing.
Well, you do know there was a screw job there, and they're still a little salty.
Just a little bit.
I mean, that wasn't even the first screw job in Montreal, if you listen to Jim Cornette's history lesson. Or it was a double cross, my bad.
Jim Cornette knows everything, apparently.
Yeah, Jim Cornette and I, wrestling historians. Can't wait to see him at StarCast. Is he going to be there? No idea.
Who cares?
Wow.
Is Vince Russo going to be there? We could have worked for Vince Russo, but,
That dude was full of you-know-what. All right, so Naomi makes her way over to the Red Brand. She teams with Bailey to defeat the Iconics.
We're not on a video, so I can't.
It doesn't matter, man. You gotta feel it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta feel it in your bones. Thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean,
It happened.
It was what it was. I think the more newsworthy stuff happened on SmackDown with the women.
Yeah. Strowman decimates EC3. EC3 should have stayed in NXT. Could have had a run with the
Should have stayed at Impact. That's what he should have done.
Wow.
I mean, even in NXT, EC3 didn't do a whole lot, but at least
Yeah, because he got called up too quick.
But yeah, I mean, I don't understand what EC3 must have done something.
He had like 2 takeover matches.
And his match against Velveteen Dream was probably the worst match Velveteen Dream ever had on Takeover.
Okay, dude, look, EC3 could have stayed at NXT. He could have had a run with the North American title.
I think something has to be going on with EC3. He must have done something. He must have put his hand in the peanut jar. He must have sneezed without covering his mouth or something. I don't know what he did. But he
went to TNA.
There must be, but he was originally in WWE, and this was
Derek Bateman.
This is probably worse than what happened before, because at least he was down in developmental doing whatever he wanted to do, and now he's on WWE, living the dream, and he beat Dean Ambrose, but then Dean Ambrose beat him again, and he hasn't done anything since then.
I mean, EC3, an incredible talker. Give him a mic. Let him talk.
Something must have happened. That's all I'm saying. It's like, there's going to be news coming out that he did something, and that's the whole reason why he ain't getting a push.
All right, Becky Lynch, the Chomp Chomp, defeats Ruby Riott. Also, the Riott Squad got broken up. R.I.P.
R.I.P. I don't understand why you broke up the Riott Squad in terms of having Liv be the one to move over to SmackDown. I thought after what happened on the Battle Royal, you have Sarah Logan be the one that has the singles push.
She's joining the Viking Experience, bro, because her husband Ro was a part of the Viking Experience.
I just thought that, Liv and Ruby together makes more sense, since Liv is kind of, the third out of the 3 women in that stable, so she can kind of be the designated jobber, you would say,
Liv's the front runner in my
opinion. To Ruby Riott. But I mean, Sarah Logan, I would have been the one to have her get her little singles push. But I thought that's what they're doing, because she was the one who kind of stood tall and was the pseudo winner before Carmella dumped her out at WrestleMania.
Honestly, just throw Liv Morgan on NXT UK. Let her manage Tyler Bate and be fine. Be alright.
So you're just putting all the couples together now?
Oh, yeah, of course. I care. I'm a man of the people. I want people to be happy.
Okay.
Yep. All right, Lacey Evans becomes the #1 contender for the Raw Women's Championship as she defeats Natty Neidhart. Great moonsault, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, Lacey Evans finally actually doing some wrestling on Raw.
Wow.
But I mean, Natty coming out, she cut a little promo. It was fine for what it was. Maybe Lacey could have beat someone else besides Natty, and just have Natty kind of do her own thing and maybe come back and be a contender later on. But they're pushing Lacey Evans hard right now, so it makes sense. But I think the news is that they're definitely not unifying the titles. Becky definitely has 2 belts, and she's going to defend them individually, because there's the storyline on Raw right now and the storyline on SmackDown with the women.
There's a storyline on SmackDown. I heard a noise. I heard somebody. Oh, it's D Collins. Hi D, how's it going? You've just been mentioned on the Bulletcast. Congratulations.
Oh my god.
I know. Fandom all over. All right, yeah. And Raw became phenomenal.
It did.
It became phenomenal. Yes. AJ Styles, he sold his house that he built to Roman Reigns, and we're going to get into that. But AJ Styles, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns go on to defeat Bobby Lashley, Baron Corbin, and the Scottish psychopath Drew McIntyre.
I mean, I don't understand why they keep having this 3-man team together. It just needs to break apart, because it's just kind of a black hole of nothingness.
Why you gotta say black?
Because the black hole is in the news, Philip.
Is the black hole Bobby Lashley?
I think it's Baron Corbin, to be honest.
Wow. Hey, he retired Kurt Angle. Baron Corbin is New York's favorite son, if you did not watch WrestleMania. Alright? I love Baron Corbin. Former Mr. Money in the Bank, former U.S. champion. Golden Gloves boxing champion. Baron Corbin can throw down, bro. I'm a Baron Corbin guy. I'm a BC guy.
BC's for the BC.
There you go. That's become a t-shirt. There we go. Make millions. Boom. Right there.
Yes, because Baron Corbin merch is flying off the shelves.
Right? Oh, absolutely. I have a Baron Corbin t-shirt. No, I don't. I should probably get one.
But yeah, get them quick before they sell out.
Yes.
Or they get discontinued. Probably the latter.
After we talk about SmackDown, we're going to go over all the stars that have moved and whatnot. So, should we just talk about SmackDown now?
Sure.
All right, the Kevin Owens show sees Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston on. Xavier Woods talked about how if Tyler Breeze isn't on Up, Down, Down, and on SmackDown, he's going to lose his mind. He said he took all of his Up, Down, Down talent. But since Big E's out of action, the Big O joins the New Day, the New Day. He can't be the Big K because Kmart and copyright and all that other stuff.
I liked it. I thought it was good. It was kind of establishing that Kevin Owens is a babyface. Maybe not strong. They haven't strongly established him as one since he's returned and kind of turned. But I mean, you got to keep your eye out. It's wrestling. Something's gonna happen probably. But if it was my call, I would just say keep them together until Big E comes around or whatever, and just have KO be a babyface. He's lovable.
Oh, dude, he's turning. He's turning on Kofi so quick,
but
dude.
Also, it's like Kevin Owens.
You know it.
Is almost kind of like a Kurt Angle to where he's so good at comedy. He's so good at this stuff to where he might just get pigeonholed into this role when he could just be a serious main event babyface.
No, he will. He will be. I mean, he could be a serious main event heel.
Siri, I didn't talk to you.
I mean, look, he befriended Sami Zayn. Look what happened to them. Befriended Chris Jericho. Got the Festival of Furniture. Probably the greatest segment on Raw history. Maybe, possibly. I enjoyed it. And then he's gonna betray Kofi Kingston. They're gonna have a feud for the WWE title. It's gonna be great.
I'm an optimist. Kevin Owens is gonna be not turning.
Yes. All right. They went all throughout the night doing segments, and he beat Big E's record of eating cold pancakes in like 5 minutes or something.
I find it hard to believe Kevin Owens has never eaten a pancake.
Wow. Are you saying that because of the man's size? He's trimmed down.
He has.
You know, he's Canadian. They have ketchup chips.
Ketchup. I'm pretty sure I've had a ketchup chip before.
You've had ketchup chips before?
I think I've had.
Yeah. I've never tried these. I heard they're amazing.
I think they were quite good.
Yes.
If my memory so recalls.
All right. The Intercontinental Champion, Finn Balor, makes his debut on the blue brand because he's been wearing blue. The title he has blue on it. Just makes sense. And he defeats Mustafa Ali. So at this point, the United States and IC titles are on SmackDown Live. You know, Sam Roberts said this was going to happen, and it's happened.
I mean, I think Samoa Joe's going over to Raw. We'll probably see him next week, but...
Not announced, but the Superstar Shakeup's over.
I don't. Maybe they'll be like, oh, it's one late last edition.
Or, if it is true that Balor's wrestling Andrade, does he just drop the title?
Maybe, but then why did you do the Samoa Joe Braun Strowman thing for nothing?
And why did you have Finn Balor win it, then lose it, then win it again? Only to lose it again.
Because it's WWE and they don't make a whole lot of sense.
That's why you're going to be the continuity guy, dude. I'm telling you. All right, Charlotte Flair returns to in-ring action for the first time since WrestleMania, and she defeats the gatekeeper of Gucci, Carmella.
It is what it is. I don't understand why they gave Carmella the Battle Royal win when they were just going to have her be right back where she was, just being the jobber. That's why,
wow,
if you're going to push somebody, you could have Sarah Logan win it and give her some sort of credibility.
And join the Viking Experience.
And join the Viking Experience, you know.
Jesus
Sanity
Christ.
didn't work out, but the Viking Experience will.
Yes, man. We should just add experience to our names.
No.
The Canadian Destroyer Experience. The CDE. Yeah. You don't like that?
Your Philippisms are 0 for 2 right now.
I'm sorry. Okay, the Intercontinental Champion is hot fire. I don't know what you're talking about. That's bars right there. God. I don't know what you mean. Okay, moving on from that, where are we? Oh, yeah, Lars Sullivan attacks R-Truth.
Continues to beat up old men.
Yeah, so he's officially a part of SmackDown now.
Good to hear.
Unless he just shows up on 205 Live and just destroys somebody. Great match on 205 Live.
Maybe he'll show up and destroy Brian Kendrick.
Oh, yeah. Only Lorcan, Cedric Alexander. Cedric had his final match on 205 Live. Very entertaining. Yes. All right, Becky Lynch promo. She comes out there, talks that she's the champ. Ember Moon and Bayley and Kairi Sane all make their debuts on SmackDown Live. And then we get this multi-person match of Moon, Bayley, Asuka, and Zayn defeating Deville, Rose, and the Iconics.
So a lot to unpack here. A whole bunch of stuff went down.
A whole bunch of ish.
Bayley getting booed in Canada. The whole reason why I don't like Canadians to begin with.
Jesus, dude.
I mean,
Abdullah the Butcher's Canadian. You hate him?
I mean, he does give people hepatitis, so.
Wow. It's
true, though.
Yeah. Apparently he's a big fan of Red Lobster. That's the way he says it. Abdul the Butcher's voice is hilarious. I enjoy it.
Okay, so anyways, so Bailey got booed, which may not be a good thing because maybe Bailey just needs to turn heel because I think she's just so stale as a babyface at this point. And that's one thing is I don't understand is why does Bailey like people are turning on Bailey, but yet people are much more sympathetic for Sasha Banks. Like, do they just think Sasha is just so underutilized? Even though I would argue Bailey is way more underutilized than Sasha Banks was in her entire career. I mean, Bailey could have been so hot and just she could have been like lead babyface of the maybe not the company,
Dude,
but she could have been like Becky Lynch.
2014, 2016 Bailey NXT hot fire. Now not so much.
Exactly, and so I just don't understand why people are turning on Bailey. But Asuka and Kairi Sane being together with Paige as their manager, we said that it should have been the Sky Pirates. We were half right, I guess, but I don't understand why you put Asuka and Sane together.
Because they're Asian.
Japanese. They're Japanese.
Yes.
Not just Asian, they're Japanese.
Like the same way the New Day got together because they're black, or Titus and Apollo because they're black. Apollo on SmackDown Live, by the way.
But I just don't. I mean, there's no real. Maybe there's going to be some chemistry, but I just thought Io and Kairi were much better as a tag team, and maybe it is just simple as they're both Japanese and just put them together because they can't speak English and have Paige do it. But I think Paige is going to overshadow them just because she's such a big star and people love her so much.
I know they don't want general managers, but Vince or Shane could have just said, Paige, okay, you're in charge of the women's division, yada, yada, yada. That like kind of what Brooke Hogan was in Impact all those years ago, how she kind of just overseed the Knockouts division. Same thing here.
And the women's division on SmackDown is like so loaded compared to what Raw is.
Stacked, dude.
It's also kind of a reason why I would say like have the tag teams on have men tag teams on one show, have the women's division on another show, because if you try to split them up,
even if you do that, like they're still gonna get lost in the shuffle.
Yeah, but I mean, who's really on Raw for the women? You have Ruby Riott and Sarah Logan. Nia Jax is gone.
Tamina's there technically. You have Natty,
who just lost
Becky,
who just got bogged down by Lacey Evans.
Lacey, Dana Brooke, Alicia, Fonks. Mickey James over to SmackDown Live.
Exactly. There's just so much depth on a 2-hour show of SmackDown. It's going to be interesting to see where they go from here. I mean, I would not be shocked if we get to Fox in October where there's no such thing as a brand split. Everyone's just all together.
Yeah, that cannot happen. We have talked about brand splits. The Hardy Boys cut a phone promo, typical Hardy Boy stuff.
But no words on the screen, which I approve of.
I think they got rid of that a while ago.
Yeah, I know, but I got a little scared there. I saw the font. I was like, are they gonna bring the words back? They didn't.
Thank God, Jesus.
I don't know, but those Hardy shirts with the stars, straight fire.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to cop one of those. You know what I noticed on WWE Shop? Like, if there's a shirt for like $4.99, you'll never see that shirt again if you don't buy it. It'll just be gone forever. Like, I should have bought a Y2AJ shirt. I should have.
Because those are flying off the shelves.
Oh, well, yes, they were amazing. Vintage.
I don't think I've ever seen one person wear that shirt.
I have.
Good for you.
I have a lot of wrestling circles, Brandon. Yes.
You're my wrestling circle, Philip.
Thanks, buddy. That means a lot to me. All right, speaking of buddies, Buddy Murphy is on SmackDown Live. The best kept secret. I'm excited. I love Buddy Murphy. This past week he had a match with Velveteen Dream for the North American title. Haven't seen it yet. I need to watch. I hear good things about it. Buddy Murphy dominated the Cruiserweight division ever since he got there.
I mean, Buddy Murphy has been doing good work on 205 Live. I'm happy for him that he's been called, sort of speak called up to WWE and doing this. I think it's definitely going to help on the SmackDown heel division. I mean, on the heel side for the men, you have like Randy Orton. Daniel Bryan is out, seemingly, so we don't exactly know what's going on with him. So,
injury.
Lars, Randy Orton. I mean, who else is really? Maybe Samoa Joe,
if he's there.
If he's even there.
Rowan.
I feel like we're missing somebody, but
dude, could you imagine Buddy?
You can also split up the Bar or the Rusev Nakamura pairing and have them be heels, but
I like the Bar together. Rusev and Nakamura can go.
I just hope that, a Buddy Murphy, Finn Balor feud for the Intercontinental Championship. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
There you go.
You just have to keep saying into it until it becomes a thing.
It's just a thing, dude. Like, I'm gonna see that on Twitter or something. Like, I created that. It's mine. Yeah.
All right.
Yes. All right. So the New Day defeat Cesaro, Rusev, and Nakamura. Kevin Owens defeats Rusev with looked like a snap mare.
I'm pretty sure it was a stunner that Rusev just sold wrong.
Yeah. Botch Day. Can we get that shirt going?
No.
You can't sell those stunners from KO. I don't know what's going on there.
I mean,
It's a pretty simple move to take.
I'm not a wrestler, but I would think a stunner is pretty simple.
Yeah, like I've taken quite a few stunners in my day. I'm selling them all over the place. I even did a rock sell once.
Okay.
Yeah. Nothing more to say about that match?
I mean, it was a match. It was just kind of there. New Day goes over. No turn from KO.
Not yet. It's
Not
too soon.
Not yet. I'm
Yes.
holding out hope that he won't.
All right. So, the biggest acquisition in SmackDown Live history, according to Vince McMahon, is Elias. Elias says he's going to take the reins of SmackDown Live to the Promised Land. And holy cow, the big dog shows up. Superman punches Elias. He says, I don't care what Vince says. This is my yard now. Superman punches Vince, spears Elias, and then SmackDown goes off the air. SmackDown's going to Fox. We got to have the big dog on the big show.
Crowd was, I wouldn't say completely turned against Roman Reigns. They weren't exactly hot for him.
See, this is what I think can happen. He's not going to be put in the title picture right away. He can't just do that. He has some building to do. I mean,
You can't make it too obvious.
Yeah, he was gone for a while. So I think once we get closer to the Fox deal, Roman will somehow get his hands on the WWE Championship. Like, April to let's say October. That's a nice little reign for Kofi. Let him run with that. And yeah.
My thinking is that they're trying to make Roman Reigns, the anti-authority guy, which people are going to see right through.
That was just a one-time thing.
I know, but I'm just saying they did it, and people are going to see right through that. Just like they, saw it through when they did the authority angle, whenever that was a thing, 2-3 years ago. And if it is the case to where, Kofi loses to Lars Sullivan, and then Lars Sullivan loses to Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns is the champion, I think people are going to see through that as well, and I think it's just going to be the same exact thing over again. I talked about it on WrestleMania that Roman was not super over, and they didn't put him in front of the Raw after WrestleMania crowd. Did not get a favorable response against the Montreal crowd. I think
that's those Canadians.
I think if you just keep booking him the way that you keep booking him, history is due to repeat itself.
There was an opportunity to do something different. We expected it to be Roman. It was Elias. Okay, haha. But look, man, I look at it like this. Roman does. Nah, don't let Roman win Money in the Bank. Let somebody else win it. Somebody that can really benefit from it. Roman can get in the title picture without that. But I'm saying, once the Fox deal comes, get the big title on Roman. Have him come out in a suit and play up that he's Vince's corporate guy. Let him be the new chosen one since he beat the old chosen one at WrestleMania. You know what? Now's the perfect time to do it. They didn't turn Cena. Let's really turn Roman and be like, you people started cheering me when I announced I was battling leukemia. You people are disgusting, despicable. I don't know. Run with that or something. Put him in a suit. Let's tweak it. Let's get some real depth to Roman. People were saying that they can relate to Joe. You can relate to Joe, but Joe's not on camera. Roman is.
You're speaking to you're preaching to the choir over here, saying that Roman should turn.
Now, let's do it. Let's do it. They didn't. Vince never turned Hogan. Vince never turned John.
He turned Stone Cold, and that was a huge mistake. So maybe he has a reason for why he doesn't do it.
Okay, come on. Could you wouldn't pop for a Roman Reigns heel run?
Of course I would, because it's the right move for business.
Could you imagine him beating Kofi Kingston down, and he's licking his chops, and he spears him. Kofi kicks out. He's like, all right, Superman punch, spears the mess out of Kofi, and he's just standing there. Vince holding his hand up, and Roman's the corporate champion.
I don't think we should I think we should stop talking about this because it ain't gonna happen.
Okay, what if this just miraculously happens in October? I'm like, all right, Vince is listening to us.
Sure. I'll take a Roman heel turn. I just don't want to spend too much airtime about it because it ain't gonna happen.
Well, when you get the job at WWE, you can pitch it, see what happens.
I'm just the corporate lackey that everyone just yells at because I'm the a-hole for saying that something's wrong.
Wow. All right, let's go over how many people, the people and where they are. So, Raw, AJ Styles, The Miz, Ricochet, Aleister Black. the Viking Experience. Andrade Cien Almas, Selena Vega, Rey Mysterio, the Usos, Naomi, EC3, Lacey Evans, Eric Young, and Cedric Alexander. SmackDown Live, Roman Reigns, the Intercontinental Champion, Finn Balor, Elias, Bayley, Ember Moon, Kyrie Sane, Lars Sullivan, Buddy Murphy, Liv Morgan, Chad Gable, Apollo Crews, Mickey James, and Heavy Machinery are all on the blue brand.
And Nikki Cross is somehow like a free agent still.
Oh yeah, she's on that John Cena level.
Yeah.
She's gonna show up in NXT UK. Do it. Oh, that'd be great. Her versus Toni Storm. Her versus Rhea Ripley. I'm down with that. I'm not gonna lie.
Maybe we should just get Nikki Cross to go on Raw, since Raw needs some bodies right now.
Or maybe, I don't know. I have no idea. All right, well, after all that being said, tomorrow night, Dolph Ziggler, his comedy show comes to San Francisco Piano Fight Comedy Club, 144th Taylor Street in SF. It's going to be a good time. I will be in attendance to go see my boy Dolph Ziggler. You pay $55, you get the VIP experience, 6:30, the meet and greet starts. You can chat with DZ for a little bit. Show actually starts at 8, ends at like 9. It's like an hour. Then after that's a whole little Q&A type deal. Yep.
Sounds like a cool experience. I subscribe to the Major Brothers figure hunt thingy on YouTube, and they made a run in at on the WrestleMania show. So maybe there might be some special guests. Who knows?
Yeah, there's always gonna be special guests. Possibly get a. What if I get an interview from Dolph Ziggler? I'd pop for that. That'd be huge. It'd be amazing. We're both amateur standouts.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, absolutely.
One has the Kent State pin record, you're a Mount Eden head coach, or
yeah. It's assistant coach. Yes.
Assistant head coach.
No, just I'm the JV coach. I'm just there to put kids over.
Oh, okay.
I let them show some of their talent by beating a big guy. That's just what I'm here for.
Okay.
All right. Superstar Spotlight. Who do we got? Who do we got? Anybody in the shakeup that is going to be good for business? That's mine.
I don't exactly.
I like Finn on SmackDown. I think I'm going to go with Finn.
If we're going to go with like a certain wrestler who was shaken up, I think honestly Buddy Murphy. I think Buddy Murphy deserves this opportunity. He's done a whole hell of a lot being a singles guy on 205 Live. Maybe something I didn't expect, because he was a decent tag team on NXT, and now he's proved himself on 205 Live, and hopefully, I know it's a lot to ask, he gets some TV time, and he's a good, solid heel, especially on SmackDown, where, pretty much a lot of the baby faces are kind of undersized to begin with, so he's not going to be...
I'd love to see randomly just Finn... Roman versus Buddy just on a random SmackDown. That'd be cool.
That's also another thing with the Roman Reigns thing, is if he goes up against Daniel Bryan, I'm pretty sure Daniel Bryan's going to get cheered against Roman Reigns. If Kofi Kingston ends up losing the championship just to get onto Roman, Roman's going to get booed.
And then he's going to turn heel.
He's not going to turn heel.
Oh, okay.
But
all right,
we have to stay tuned to find out about that.
All right, it's April 19th. I'm saying it this far in advance. We'll see. We shall see. All right, Brandon, tell us about our promo pick of the week.
So, we're not doing WrestleMania ones anymore, so I decided to go outside the box, and this is a Freebirds promo from World Class 1985. If you look it up, it says it's the best Freebirds promo of all time. I don't exactly know if that's the case, but the beginning is a beatdown on the Von Erich brothers, and then the boys all go at it, and they talk about it, and Terry Gordy has a brand new move, and they're going to debut it, and once they debuted it on the angle, and then now there is no chance.
The clothesline?
No, the Bam Bam Slam.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that part.
Anyways, once that Bam Bam Slam is hit, whatever it's called, the Von Erichs have no chance in hell.
Yes, this was the incarnation of the Freebirds that involved Michael P.S. Hayes, was it Terry Gordy? Almost said Barry Gordy, Jesus. And Buddy Rose, not Jimmy Garvin. Yeah, World Class Championship Wrestling down in Fort Worth, Texas. There's Dallas, Fort Worth, and then there's Fort Worth. I think it was down at the old Sportatorium. Shout out, man.
Shout out.
Yeah, had some days in Dallas. Good times. Not really.
Flown over it a couple times. That's about it.
Yeah, I had a couple incarnations. The early days of the Podfather. All right, close match pick of the week: Robbie X versus Pac, aka Neville. Defiant Wrestling, March 9th, 2019. Found this match randomly. It was in my recommends. Thought it was really nice. I miss Defiant Wrestling WCPW. I need to watch it more. What do you think?
Good match. I think Pac definitely is showing what he can do outside of WWE. Excited to see what he can do at AEW against Hangman Adam Page. A match that at first got a lot of hype, and now it's just kind of died down a little bit. Hasn't gotten too much hype, but maybe in the coming weeks and as we get closer. Only 5 weeks away till Double or Nothing.
I know. And how's the Full Gear Challenge going? You doing good?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah.
I've been slipping this week. I had a lot of stuff to do, so haven't been hitting the gym as hard as I should have. But next week, hopefully, it's a reset.
I've been in there like 2 or 3 a.m. clanging and banging. Not really, just on the elliptical. I'm trying to get that 3-hour elliptical run like Roman Reigns. Build up all that cardio.
If you're really trying to get cardio, go on the Stairmaster.
I feel like the elliptical you do more. That's just me, personally. You know, I'm a wrestling coach. I know these things.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. If you ever need a mentor in the gym, I got you, man.
I think I got it. What's your lifting schedule?
I don't really lift. I'm more of the cardio guy. Cause I mean, I'm wrestling kids that are like 126 pounds. You know, got to be able to keep up.
Okay.
Yeah, I do. You know, I don't do the free weights. I go on like the machines with already set amount of weights there. You know.
I'm on the push-pull legs schedule. You know.
Okay.
You know.
I don't need to do leg day. Cavzilla over here.
Okay.
All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, follow us on Twitter at Bulletcast, Instagram, The Bulletcast, YouTube channel, The Bulletcast, email us, bulletcast2 sweet@swet@gmail.com, 99.9 FM KW in Watsonville, iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, TuneIn, Google Play, iHeartRadio. Yeah, Brandon and I were getting ready for Double or Nothing. Going to be a good time. Got my my reservations for where I will be staying. I'm staying at an Airbnb in some guy's house. It's going to be a good time.
What happened to your timeshare?
Yeah, I thought about it. The Airbnb is so much cheaper. You'll save money. You got to have that meet and greet money. Yes.
Got my Young Bucks meet and greet yesterday.
Oh, really? How much is that?
$60.
That's not bad. How much is Kenny?
I haven't come out yet.
What about Cody? I've met him a couple times. You know, if I see him walking around, just be like, congratulate him on what's going on. You know, it's just how the Podfather does it.
I don't know. It's Cody and Brandy.
Oh. Mm-hmm. Big deal. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Bulletcast. We will see you next week, coming to you either Wednesday or Thursday. Don't know yet. Brandon, you doing it under the radar next week?
Uh-huh.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, ta-ta for now.
This has been the Bulletcast. Thank you for listening.